Good morning, everyone. Afreilich and Chanukah. We're continuing here in the Horowitz Chaim's TZIPISA Yeshua, yearning for redemption. And today he begins to deal with and grapple with the question, how is it going to be possible that although that the Geula, the redemption, has been delayed for so long, when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is ready to bring redemption, it's going to happen keheref ayin, in an instant, very quickly. How will that work? To explain this, I want to bring you a dimyon, some kind of a parable, says the Horowitz Chaim. There was a king who got angry with his son. He was geyser, decreed upon him that he's not going to be allowed to be in the house, in the palace of the king, for 5 years. He sent him to a far-off land that was like at the edge of the world. And in the earlier times, it would take many, many years to travel to that land. And afterwards, the king relented. He said, how can I send my son away for so long? However, he already decreed that his son is going off into this exile for the next 5 years, so that he shouldn't come home. And the king cannot retract what he said. He began thinking to himself, the king, what's going to be at the end of these 5 years? It's going to still take him a few years to get back here. So I'm sending him away now. It takes him a few years to get there. When all the 5 years is up, he's going to start coming back. It's going to take him a few years to get here. So by the time I see my son, let's say it's going to be 8 or 9 years down the road. How can that be? Says the king. And therefore he shouldn't have to begin his return journey several years before his arrival here, which means he's going to go all the way there. He's going to be exiled from the house for 5 years. So let's say it takes 2.5 years, 3 years to get there. So then he's going to get there and then turn back around so that he'll be back within 5 years. That doesn't make any sense. So vayitain tzav. So he made a command, says the king, sheyasu avur kol ha'arim nemishor, that his workers and his kingdom, they should flatten out all of the mountains. V'yaseh avur kol ha'mashines sheba'ilim, they should produce with all the machines that exist in the world, to make it, to flatten out all the mountains, make the terrain very easy, and use all the machinery that is necessary so that when the king has to return home, he's going to return home in a much shorter time than when he left, because there won't be mountains anymore. There won't be trails that he has to go on. There won't be oceans that he has to cross over. They'll make it very easy for him. And that means that when he returns from his journeys, it'll only be a very brief journey home, which will be wonderful for the king to be reunited with his son. This is the same thing with the coming of Mashiach. It's true. Klal Yisrael is scattered throughout the world. The kibbutz hagolis mikol Yisrael, and the ingathering of the exiles of Klal Yisrael is going to include everyone. Ka'amar, like it says, ve'atem tiluktu la'achad echad b'nei Yisrael, like it says, and you will be gathered up one by one, children of Israel. A person should think, kibbutz gufa yimashech kamesh shanim asher yikubsu. He thinks to himself, wait a second, there's Yidden in America, there's Yidden in Eretz Yisrael, there's Yidden in Europe, there's Yidden all over the world, in South America, everywhere you look, there's a Jew. How long is it going to take to bring everybody back to Eretz Yisrael at the right time? It'll take years. Now, remember, the Horowitz Chaim lived in a world where there was no airplane. There were no rocket ships. There was no Concord airplane that could fly across the world in an hour. Didn't have that. So he's asking in his mashal over here, how is it going to work that suddenly kibbutz galius, the redemption of all of the Jewish people from around the world, is going to come so quickly? But the truth of the matter is, Hashem is preparing everything from beforehand. So that when the time of the ingathering of all the exiles comes, when Mashiach will arrive, it will not take a long time. That's what it says. If he delays, wait for him. Maybe you'll say, but when finally a Mashiach comes and we have to get gathered in, it's going to take a long time. No. Like it says in the Navi, he will surely come. When the time for him comes to arrive, he will not delay at all. Like it says, who are like these that fly in a cloud? What does that mean? Just like a cloud moves swiftly, Kenya, kibbutz gali, so too will be the ingathering of the exiles. Will be very swift. We'll come back immediately to Eretz Yisrael for the coming of Mashiach and the Beis HaMikdash. And of course, in our world, who can't understand this? We live in a world of airplanes. You get in an airplane this morning, or you take the red-eye flight from LA to the East Coast. You get in the plane, you wake up in the morning, you're in New York, you're in New Jersey, you're in Baltimore, wherever you might be. You get on a plane in America, and 14 hours later, you're in Eretz Yisrael, and you turn around, and the next thing you know, you're back in America. It goes quick today. And it'll go even faster. They'll have jet propulsion when Mashiach comes, and therefore we can understand, even though that it's taking a long time. And we've been delayed for thousands of years already, but when HaKadosh Baruch Hu is ready to bring Mashiach, it's going to go in a jiffy. It's going to go swiftly. It's going to go quick. We're going to board the planes, jump on El Al. We're going to head all the way back to Eretz Yisrael in an instant. The Concord jet is going to take us there instantaneously. And Bez Hashem, we should be Zeiche in the days of Chanukah with the Nisim and Iflois that Hashem did for Klal Yisrael then. Bezman Hazeh should do them now. We should be Zeiche just as the Kahanim were Zeiche to light the menorah in the Beis HaMikdash with Kedusha and Tahara. We should be Zeiche to light the menorah in the Beis HaMikdash Shlishi Bimheira V'Yameinu. Amen.